right, good afternoon to all of you. It is Tuesday, February 21st, and got a shorty today. Not a whole lot going on, but there's a couple of things. First of all, I wanted to mention there's something I forgot to touch on in regards to this last Friday's game when Danbury came into our barn. No, I'm not going to rehash anything with the officials or anything like that. But I wanted to say how much of a fan I became that game of Talor Joseph. Not just because he played very, very well. He did. But I tell you what, he's got some guts. I can't remember who it was, but it was second half of the third period, and Daniel Amesbury cross-checked someone. I think it was Yates, but I can't remember for sure. Anyway, he cross-checked somebody in the high slot, and whistle blew. Talor Joseph came out of his crease to give Amesbury a piece of his mind and a hard shove. And so that was awesome. A lot of people won't take on Amesbury. He just from the aspect. I'm not going to get into cheap shot this or anything like that. Just as a fighter, okay, Amesbury's one of the toughest hombres out there. So the fact that Joseph came out to confront Amesbury, I like this guy. So anyway, okay, getting into our transactions, Richard Shipman, the third goaltender for Elmira, was waived today. I kind of am and am not surprised. I'm not sure if this means that Elmira is just going to stick with the combo of Thomas Proudluck and Harley White, or if they're going to sign somebody else. But anyway, Shipman is no longer with the Mammoth. Former Mammoth, Dakota Seaman, tough guy on the blue line, was picked up on waivers yesterday by the Watertown Wolves. And speaking of former Watertown Wolves, Lane King, defenseman for the Columbus River Dragons, was suspended one game. Now, segue further. It's amazing that King got a one-game suspension, but that Paul Frigeau, who brutally cross-checked Delaware defenseman Rasmus Asp 3 times in the neck and the back of the head, was not suspended. His cross-check to Asp was a lot more severe than what Jake Schultz gave to Evan Foley of the Prowlers. And Schultz gets 3 games. Paul Frigeau gets nothing. Delaware fans, and from what I understand also, Charlie Penn Sr. took to the social media airwaves to voice their displeasure with the officiating. And so this continues just an endless cycle of referees just letting things get out of hand, not being held accountable. It seems like there are some owners that are able to speak their minds and some that are not. I know that both Elmira's Steve Donner and Charlie Penn Sr. have been quite vocal and critical of the officiating, and I'm not really hearing about any kind of penalty or repercussions from that. But other owners are very, very wary about saying things because they know that it's going to end up meaning bad things. Of course, we've got a social media policy. The players can't speak out. Um, they say anything, bam, it's a game suspension. If you've done it a couple times, it could be 2 games. So this is just, again, an ongoing saga of officials just not calling various things. And when Frigeau cross-checked ASP, I don't know the name of the official that was officiating Saturday night, but it was right there, right in front of him. You can see it on video. If you go back and watch the YouTube game, it's at the 12:15 mark of the third period um, of the Saturday game, and nothing happens. Okay, he got a 5-minute major, he got a game misconduct, but so did Jake Schultz. He got a 5-minute major and a game misconduct and 3 games, originally 5, which was reduced to 3. And the fact that this was not addressed, just baffling. It just appears to me that at times, I'm not sure if it's certain officials, but it seems like certain teams end up on the short end of the straw, so to speak, more often than not. And I'm not going to go through a name or a list of teams, but it does seem to me, I've watched a lot of games this year, and it seems like there's almost like a predisposition that's set by officiating teams on average, maybe once every 8 or 9 games, in which they just, it almost seems like they come out with a mind made up that, yeah, we're going to, let things go with Team A, but Team B, we're going to watch real close, and any little thing that happens, we're going to be all over it. It just happens too often for me to think that it's coincidental. So I don't know. Anyway, so that's my 2 cents worth. Putting it out there, and it's out there in the air, and probably nothing's going to come of it. So be it. Anyway, slow day today. News is a little slow in trickling down through the Fed, so we'll get caught up tomorrow. And then Thursday, we will be previewing our 3-game weekend against the Carolina Thunderbirds, their first trip into town this year. So their first and only trip. 3 games. Gonna be a huge series. So that I think it's gonna feel like the playoffs again, just like last weekend against Danbury felt like the playoffs. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good fun stuff. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And we will catch up with you again tomorrow.